Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. From websites and online stores, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build beautiful online presence.
Hi friends, I hope that you've been well. In today's video, I am going to be taking you through what I'm packing for my upcoming Japan trip. I am going to Japan for 2 weeks in April. This is actually going to be my second time going to Japan. I went the first time in spring of 2023. So I thought I'd take you guys through my thought process on building a fun wardrobe, but not overpacking. And I thought I'd take you through my packing list and some advice and tips for traveling to Japan if it's something that you've never done before and you're looking for a starting point on where to begin. Over the past few months, I have been slowly trying to digitize my wardrobe, and if you're not familiar, there's a number of different apps that basically emulate the scene from Clueless, and I decided to use the app Wearing. This is not sponsored, but there are a number of different apps that people use. I know Index is a popular one as well. And how I decided to go about building this wardrobe and, eliminating the choice paralysis was I decided to pick a color story that I wanted to have for this. And so I decided for my accent colors, I'm having pink and red because of the cherry blossom season that we're going to be there for. And then neutral, so gray, black, and white. And then basically I'm just like building my wardrobe from there. Okay, first of all, please do not mind seeing my art studio. I am not typically a fashion content creator, so just bear with me, okay? We're making do. Anyway, so outfit number one, we've got some pants. We're doing the red and the pink, and we've got a tie. I know ties are not for everybody, but I think that bringing some key accessories not only helps elevate an outfit, it's that little cherry on top, but also it's a really great way to help change up the look of an outfit without having to take up a ton of space in your luggage. And to style the pants in another way, we're doing a different silhouette. We've got the dress over pants, and something that I absolutely love as a layering piece is like these mesh shirts. And especially when it comes to Japan, the girlies tend to not be very revealing up top here. So I personally tend to run a little hot. So these mesh shirts are like the perfect alternative to being able to cover up without worrying about like overheating necessarily. And of course, if you are a trinket girly like me, feel free to bring all of your favorite trinkets to match your fits. If you find that you're more of a neutrals girly, something that I would suggest is playing with different textures. So I thrifted this really beautiful vintage lace skirt a few months ago, and I do think that Japan in the spring will be perfect for it because it gives me some coverage, but it's really breezy for some of those warmer days. And then we also have this like pleather beret. Again, we're accessorizing, but we're also playing around with different textures. And instead of bringing like a typical jacket, I think I might end up bringing this blazer instead because there's something very sophisticated about it. And I do feel like when I was in Japan last time, I always felt underdressed. So I think that a blazer will help me not feel underdressed. And for an alternative, more toned down version, I put on my black raincoat and took the beret off. And I feel like it feels much more casual, but because it's sort of like a long trench, it kind of just like suits the silhouette. However, now my problem is I feel like the pink is too high contrast. So I don't know, let me know what you think. Or maybe this lace skirt is just harder to style than I thought it was going to be. So I might have to evaluate whether or not I should bring it, but it's so fun and I feel like it'd be a shame not to bring it though. Really determined to make this skirt work, and I think I figured it out. So I'm introducing another item, which is this lingerie dress. It's like super sheer, but what I love about it is one, does not take up a lot of space in your luggage. It's like so thin and light, so it doesn't add any weight, and it helps alleviate the issue that I was having with I didn't want like the shorts to be like super obvious, so it just creates another like interesting little texture and ruffle. So I do think in fact I will be bringing this lace skirt with me, but let's see if this little lingerie piece can be styled in another way. So brought back the dragon shirt and this white skirt. I really wanted to see if I could make the lingerie dress like more prominent, but I do feel like the white might be too high contrast for this fit. I wonder if maybe this fit makes more sense with that black lace skirt again or the black pants, but I do want to try and not wear all black because that just seems so predictable. I really want to try and make the white skirt work as well because I'm going to go into the Ghibli park, and I do think that this white skirt would be perfect for that. Yeah, it feels more predictable, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just makes sense, I think. Now let's see if I can make that white skirt work. So this is where we're at. I think that this is the perfect mix of being Ghibli cutesy, but not going too far away from my typical darker style. I think that it's a really nice match of both, and I love this bow because it gives magical girl, gives Ghibli. We're bringing back the Tower of Terror t-shirt and the leather beret, but I also wanted to introduce this little skinny scarf. This is going to be my first time wearing this. And the thing about this outfit is the scarf length hits the same length as this t-shirt, which is kind of odd. So I was thinking maybe if I just sort of like tuck one side of the shirt just to give it some draping and like some, just to break it up and for a more asymmetrical look. And yeah, I'm digging it. It's fun. But also like an alternative version of Anastasia a little bit, right? Are we seeing the vision? For me personally, a wardrobe is not complete without some mini skirt action. And another really fun accessory to bring along is these leg warmers. Not only will it help sort of just like cover up some of my legs if it's a little chillier, since it is spring, not quite summer, it also creates like a really fun silhouette. So we've got this vibe, which is very preppy, very collegiate. Or I can swap out the shoes, the outerwear, take the tie off, and we get a more cutesy casual vibe. I kind of feel a little bit New Jeans-esque perhaps, or I don't know. There's something about these leg warmers that is definitely giving K-pop styling, which is totally fine with me. And of course, bringing little hair accessories and doing something with your hair also helps add to the vibe.
Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. As you might know, Squarespace is a great platform that is so versatile for many different applications as a creative. One of those things is having an online store. Here I have a secret shop that allows all of my patrons to access the previous Patreon print and sticker rewards, so you can get all of the Zodiac ones that you missed out on. And a great feature is that you can actually connect your Square Reader to your shop so that you can keep track of your inventory if you do in-person events as well, which makes everything so streamlined. So if you're interested in checking out Squarespace, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/I'mAWonder for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
So the packing list that I have so far is skincare, makeup, pharmaceuticals. I say this because even though, yes, you can go to the drugstore in Japan, I heard that Advil and Tylenol and things like that are a weaker or like lower dosage and not as strong. So that's something to make note of. And then also melatonin is going to be a lifesaver for you if you are trying to beat the jet lag or you just have trouble falling asleep in general. I also want to recommend bringing your own lactaids if you are lactose intolerant, because apparently in Japan, you actually have to have a prescription to get lactaids, which is wild. Comb/brush if you need it. Contacts, contact solution, glasses. Again, if that's applicable to you, it is for me, unfortunately. Although I have heard really good things about getting glasses in Japan, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time for it, so I'm just gonna bring my own. My clothes. I'm also going to bring a rain jacket because it's going to be springtime and there's definitely a high chance of rain while we're there. I'm also going to be bringing 2 pairs of shoes. I highly recommend bringing more than 1 pair because not only you're going to be doing so much walking, so make sure they're good walking comfortable shoes, but also I find that even with your comfortable shoes, like you're going to be experiencing a little bit of chafing and rubbing on your feet. So I find that switching between more than 1 pair of shoes helps kind of alleviate building blisters on like the same spots. And so I'm going to be bringing my really trusty, super comfortable white sneakers. And then I'm also going to be bringing I think I'm going to do my black loafers because they are leather and they're fairly waterproof, again, because it's a high chance of rain. And my white sneakers, while they're comfortable, they are not going to be good when it's really wet outside. Also is tied to go just because we're going to be out all day. And if I spill food on myself, I'm going to be really embarrassed to have a stain on me all day. I'm definitely going to be bringing my phone, my iPad, the applicable chargers, and bringing a battery pack. I really love this one that I got in Korea because it just sticks onto the bottom of my phone and it's a lot lighter and more compact, and I'm still able to like comfortably hold my phone while I have it charged. A reusable tote bag because you're inevitably going to be going to do some shopping, and I find that it helps alleviate having like a billion shopping bags at the end of the trip. For me, traveling to Japan, it's going to be a 13-hour flight, I think. So bringing anything that makes you comfortable on those long flights. For me, it's going to be a little eye mask. And I find that this is a godsend when you're on those really long flights because I find it's just so much more comfortable to be able to take my shoes off, but then it's such a hassle to put my shoes back on when I need to like go to the bathroom. And I find that my feet end up, swelling over the course of the flight. And so having the slides just really lets your feet have some comfort. And in that same vein, also going to be bringing some compression socks. I have actually never worn compression socks before, but I've seen my friends use them for their flights as well as like concerts, so I can't imagine that it's a bad thing to try it out. Something to note about Japan is while yes, they do take cards for payments, they are still like a very cash forward country as far as I know, and you're inevitably going to end up with a lot of coins, especially if you like doing gachapons and things like that. So having either a wallet that has like a decent sized spot for coins or having a separate coin purse. This is optional, but is a little hand towel because a lot of the Japan bathrooms, they often don't have blow dryers or paper towels to dry your hands off after you wash your hands. I'm going to be bringing one, but another thing to note is that they're sold everywhere in Japan and they have super cute ones. So this is something that you could probably get away with not bringing and then just buying one when you're there. And I also wanted to mention some things that I will not be packing, and one of them being shampoo, conditioner, body wash. This is something that pretty much every single hotel is going to have, so that will help save a lot of room and weight on my luggage. This is another thing that I've heard every Japan hotel offers is pajamas. This is something that I would say if you are a North American medium or smaller, then definitely you can go ahead and just like wear the pajamas that are provided. However, I am more of like a large, extra large in North American sizing, so I'm not sure if the pajamas provided in Japan are going to fit me. So just to be on the safe side, I think I personally will be bringing pajamas. But if you're doing like Airbnbs or like capsule hotels, then definitely double check because what is provided to you will be different.
And the last thing I want to mention is I'm definitely going to be bringing a smaller bag to have on me throughout the trip. This is a really good size for me. I think it has a detachable shoulder strap, which I'll definitely be utilizing so it can be hands-free. And this way it can fit all the things that I'm going to need for the full day. You can also do like a small backpack.
And some other tips that I want to provide to you. So for me, in terms of luggage, last time I went for 11 days and I just did one carry-on suitcase and a duffel bag and like packed super, super light because we were basically lugging around our luggage everywhere. And it ended up being really efficient, but I was really limited on my outfit options. And I also found that I was really hesitant to buy things because I was worried that it wouldn't fit. However, something that I have recently been informed about is the luggage forwarding system in Japan. Again, because we are staying at all hotels, we're able to have our luggage forwarded from the hotel to hotel and then back to the airport. So basically what I did for Korea, and I'm going to do again for Japan, is I'm going to pack everything into the carry-on luggage and then put that into a checked luggage. And that way, basically I have one giant checked luggage available to me to purchase new things. Of course, this is only applicable if you are someone who knows that you're going to be buying a lot of stuff. If you'd rather just carry the luggage on you and pack super light, then it's definitely possible to do that with a carry-on. Something that I used was Airalo, and basically it's an eSIM that allowed me to have data on my phone, and it was so affordable and really easy to just like top up more gigabytes if I needed it. It works for a lot of different countries, and I've had a really good experience using it. So much cheaper than using some kind of plan through my phone provider. You're going to be taking the subway and transportation a lot when you're in Japan, so I definitely recommend getting a Suica card or app. I had a Pasamo, like a physical Pasamo card when I went the first time. Something that they've implemented now is you can download Suica onto your phone, and I think you can add it to your like Apple Wallet if you're an iPhone user, and that makes it super convenient because you can just tap your phone for when you're taking the subway and the metro, and you can also use it to pay for things at the convenience store and vending machines as well, I believe. Another thing, like I mentioned earlier, Japan is definitely like a very cash forward place, so I do recommend having cash on you and not relying on just having a card. And I also recommend downloading Klook. This is like a travel app where you can book a lot of tickets for things. So I booked my Ghibli Park tickets on there, Disneyland tickets. They also have like guided tours on there as well, which is fun.
Some attractions and restaurants have limited tickets, so do your research when those tickets drop. For example, the Kirby Cafe reservations, I think, were a month in advance, and my Ghibli Park Museum tickets were 2 months in advance. So be sure to be on that because you won't be able to go if it's already sold out.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention, which is so random, but I had heard the tip from another creator, was to buy stretchy shoelaces, because when you're in Japan, you're going to be in a lot of situations where you have to remove your shoes on and off pretty often, like if you're going into shrines or you're going into change rooms, as well as when you're going through the airport as well. And if you don't have shoes that come on and off really easily, stretchy shoelaces I think is going to be a game changer. So that is currently in my Amazon cart that I will be purchasing very soon. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm preparing myself for my Japan trip. It is going to be in a few weeks by the time that you see this video. So definitely know in the comments section if there's anything else that I should know or pack, and it can be a helpful resource for everyone else who is interested in traveling to Japan and needs some tips and tricks. If there's any, clothing brands or Japan-made things, or even things that you think are overrated that I should skip, I would love to know. I hope that you look forward to seeing some Japan vlogs from me in the coming months. And yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!